Hello, I'm Grandpa Bane, and this is the Brothers Herman. They are about to review The Dark Knight Rises. And if they give away any spoilers, I shall break their backs.
Get the hell out of here!
Alright, we just got back from Dark Knight Rises, and this is for a given value of instant. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it got a lot of things right, and it did a very good job after, setting the bar so high last time. So, let's get started. Alright, as for plot, this movie will grab you right from the start and just kind of, well, no, not so much right from the start. This movie will take a little bit of a lead up. And once you get all the primary characters and you've met them, this movie will then grab you and just kind of, basically pull you along for the ride, and you'll be happy it did. They did a very good job. The plot really kind of flows well, and I just really enjoyed watching this, and the story was one of the great points of it. I really can't go into it because this movie, it's easy to cover story in other movies. This isn't one of them because it's just too easy to kind of let something slip.
So I really like the characters in this movie. Particularly, I thought some of the characters in this movie was a highlight over previous iterations of the franchise. I felt the Batman character was handled extremely well in this movie. Well, we returned to original form in the Batman Begins version, where the movie really was about Bruce Wayne and Batman and the sort of dichotomy between the two of them. As for other characters, I really liked Selina Kyle. I thought that she was a good addition to the movie and really added a lot of character. The villains were pretty good, but of course they couldn't live up to the Heath Ledger Joker character. It's not possible. The only character I felt that wasn't done really well in the movie was the supporting police officer.
The actor's name was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I cannot remember the character's name in movie, though.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who has a name, but I forget it. And he is basically an add-on to the movie. He's sort of forced in there. He really doesn't add much to the plot. He has a couple scenes that are his own, but they don't add much, and they could have been taken out and nobody would have noticed the difference. But overall, the characters were very good in this movie.
Alright, cinematography here. Dark Knight was very much a movie in the dark. It felt like this long night that never ended. Even the day scene seemed dark. This movie is a lot more is filmed in the light. There's a lot less in the shadows. That's not to say that it's a more jovial movie. It's more like this long, painful day rather than this dark, horrific night. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. That's very much what they were going for. As far as the camera work's concerned, I liked it for the most part. I did see a number of those panning shots where it blurred when you were panning across stuff. I always hate that.
I'd have to say that the IMAX was better for that. That didn't really happen so much.
Now, fair enough. As far as the music goes, while the same composer did it, I really felt the music had less of an impact in this movie. In Batman Begins, that driving bomb, bomb hit all the time. Same in Dark Knight, as well as its own stuff. This one, a lot more was said by silence. So
That probably was a stylistic choice as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
So other things?
Other things. This movie has quite a few nods to the comic. If you're paying attention, I think the most obvious one is that the girl you see in the comics constantly hanging out with Selina Kyle, or in this case Anne Hathaway, you see her quite a few times. But I think the major thing, because as I said earlier, it's very hard to talk about this movie and not accidentally give things away, and that last point doesn't. But this movie gives you a lot of hints and a lot of details without saying them. It's very good at showing, not telling. And if you're not paying attention, if you lapse, you will miss it, and this movie will leave you behind, and it will not apologize for it. I kind of like that it's not pandering, it has a story to tell, and you need to be paying attention.
I agree. It's a good thing in movies, actually.
And along those lines, it's a story that needs to be understood, at least from having seen Batman Begins and recommended having seen The Dark Knight. It's a story that you need to be fully engrossed in coming into the movie.
Yeah. You cannot just jump into this movie, and they make no apologies for that.
So this movie, like the other two previous iterations, is based off a comic book that was slightly older to make a movie version. Batman Begins was based off of Batman Year One. The Dark Knight was based off of The Killing Joke. And this Batman was likewise based off of the introduction to Bane storyline and one other really famous Batman storyline that was very revolutionary for its time.
Gives away a bit too much to say what it is.
Also, though, keep an eye out for sort of hints as to a sort of Batman Beyond storyline throughout the course of the movie. It's there if you pay attention to it.
Absolutely.
So, the final question. Was this movie better than The Dark Knight?
I'd say yes. I have to say the character of Batman as a driving force made this movie for me.
I'd also have to say yes. I just genuinely enjoyed it a bit more than I did The Dark Knight. Just did. Ram?
And I would say no. Sorry, it's almost there. Almost. It doesn't quite make it. Ultimately, I think it comes down to cohesion. From the rather odd starting place that it takes a while to get familiar with, and then to all of the storylines that work together but don't quite gel. It just lacks that cohesion that could have put it over the top. But it is still a magnificent movie.
Yes, and we did this once earlier this summer, and we are going to keep this type of thing to a minimum. We really are. This is a movie that you should go see. When we said in Avengers, go see this movie, we're going to say it again. For this one, go see this movie. You should not be disappointed. There are a few, but most of the reviews, most of the people I've talked to, genuinely enjoyed this movie. They liked it a lot. And we're sure you will too.
Absolutely. On that note, I'm Ramnessus.
I'm Albatross.
I'm Snake Eyes.
And this is the Brothers Herman.
Signing off.